Tell me, traveler, do people ignore your words, doubt your intentions, or question your authority? Today, I shall show you the silent arts practiced by kings, generals, and tyrants, secrets of body language so commanding that others will obey you before you ever speak. Listen well, for what I am about to reveal is among the most overlooked weapons in the art of influence. I speak of a form of domination that requires no sword, no army, no laws, and no crown. It is older than kingdoms and more potent than the sharpest steel. I speak of the power of silent authority. Before a command is ever spoken, before loyalty is ever sworn, before the hearts of others are bent toward your will, your body must speak the language of rulers. The weak rely upon arguments, complaints, and desperate persuasion. The strong rule through presence alone, and their authority is accepted long before it is understood. Observe the world with clarity, and you will see that human beings are creatures of instinct before reason. They respond not to truth, but to signals. They kneel not before the deserving, but before the convincing. If your body proclaims uncertainty, others will treat you with doubt. If your posture collapses, so will your influence. But if you embody certainty, others will surrender to it without knowing why. Consider how a lion walks through the savannah. It does not roar for attention, nor does it prove its strength in every moment. Its very existence announces its dominion. Prey does not doubt. Competitors do not question. The lion commands not through words, but through the authority written into its muscles and measured in its stride. Now understand this: the human being is the most complicated of all animals, yet still an animal. He may write poetry and laws, but his instincts remain ancient. Your silent authority speaks to that ancient place within him, the part that seeks leaders and fears them. To command this power, you must first understand that people measure you in an instant, before you have spoken a single syllable. They search your face for weakness, your stance for insecurity, your movement for fear. If they see it, they will speak over you, doubt you, and ignore you. They will treat you as one who follows rather than one who leads. But if they see certainty, if they sense in you the quiet power of a ruler, they will step aside, they will listen, and they will obey. Silent authority begins with posture, but it is not merely how you stand, it is how you claim existence. A prince does not shrink to fit the comfort of others. He does not fold his shoulders inward or keep his gestures small. He occupies the space that life has given him and more. He stands as though the earth beneath him depends on his approval. You must present your body to the world as though you belong not simply in the room, but at the center of it. Walk with deliberate pace, neither rushed nor hesitant. The one who rushes reveals that he is driven by events rather than driving them. The one who hesitates exposes his uncertainty and invites challenge. Your movements must convey that your time is valuable, that your direction has purpose, and that you expect the world to adjust itself around you. Your silence is also a crucial instrument in this authority. Many believe that influence requires constant speaking, yet nothing is further from truth. The one who speaks too much dilutes his power. The one who fills every silence reveals fear of being forgotten. But the one who wields silence commands attention. Speak only when your words can alter the moment. Let others wait for your thoughts. Let them wonder what judgment is forming behind your stillness. People obey what intimidates them, and silence in the hands of a powerful man can be a form of intimidation. Your presence must also communicate emotional control. Rage is a confession of lost power. Desperation is an advertisement of weakness. Fear is a signal that you are prey. You must learn to hold your expression like a mask forged from iron. Let your face reveal nothing unless you intend it. Those who can read your emotions can take your power. Those who cannot will tread carefully in your shadow. Never forget that authority is not granted, it is taken. Those who wait to be respected will remain waiting. Those who act deserving of respect will receive it, whether they have earned it or not. People do not follow truth. They follow confidence. They follow the one who appears destined to be followed. They surrender to presence that makes them feel smaller, less certain, less capable of ruling themselves. When you enter a room, pause. Let your eyes travel over those within it, not hurriedly, but with the weight of judgment. Give the impression that you are assessing, measuring, deciding. Others will assume you see more than you reveal. They will assign power to you even before you have displayed it. If someone seeks to interrupt you, do not rush to respond. Turn your eyes to them slowly, as though you decide when an exchange begins, not they. Understand that silent authority does not mean coldness. It means control. A ruler may smile, but he smiles with intention. A ruler may speak softly, but his words carry consequence. He does not argue, because argument suggests equality. He declares, and his declarations shape the reality around him. Presence creates obedience. Body language shapes belief. Silent authority makes others obey long before they realize they have surrendered. There is a truth that separates the rulers of men from the servants of circumstance, a truth that the timid and the unprepared spend their entire lives refusing to learn. Power does not belong to the one who feels the strongest emotions, but to the one who controls them. The world believes that passion is proof of honesty, yet I, Niccolò Machiavelli, tell you that passion is most often proof of vulnerability. The man who cannot master his emotions can never master the obedience of others. In courts, in councils, in battlefields, and in the quiet negotiations that determine the fate of nations, it is not the loudest voice that determines the outcome, but the calm mind behind an unreadable face. When you stand before others, whether you intend to command, persuade, or deceive, know that every flicker of expression on your face becomes a weapon that can be used against you. Anger exposes what maddens you, fear exposes what threatens you, and desperation exposes what you desire. And the moment others know what you desire, they can control you. If a prince shows that he longs for approval, his enemies need only withhold it. If he shows that he fears humiliation, they need only mock him. Emotions are keys, and once you give them away, do not be surprised when someone else begins unlocking your fate. No ruler should desire to become a creature without feeling, but every ruler must become a master of when feelings are revealed. You must learn to wear emotions the way you would wear armor, putting on each piece with intentional precision. If you appear angered, let it be because anger serves a purpose. If you appear pleased, let it be because pleasure strengthens your position. Nothing that passes across your face should happen by accident. Your expression must be a tool you command, not a force that commands you. Most people move through life like open books written in a language that even a child can understand. Their eyes widen when they are surprised, their shoulders shrink when they are intimidated, their breath shortens when they are nervous, and their voice cracks when they are unsure. The powerful read these signs like generals reading maps. They learn where to strike and when to advance, but a true practitioner of influence becomes a map that no army can decipher. Let others wonder what stirs in your thoughts. Let them question whether they please you or endanger themselves by crossing you. Mystery is a currency far more valuable than sincerity. When emotions rise within you, and they will, for no human escapes them, you must learn the art of internal delay. Before you respond, pause within yourself. Imagine a council of reason seated behind your eyes. Let them debate before you act. A single breath can prevent 1,000 regrets. The one who reacts in the instant of provocation surrenders his power to the one who provoked him. The one who waits, who considers, who chooses his moment carefully, retains control not only of himself but of everyone watching. Consider the commander of armies. If his soldiers see fear in his face, they will scatter. If they see fury without judgment, they will doubt his leadership. But if his expression remains calm while chaos surrounds him, then even the trembling will steady themselves at his side. Controlled emotion is a fortress that others seek refuge within. People obey those who appear immune to the storms that destroy ordinary men. There will be moments in your life when others attempt to draw emotion out of you not by accident, but by design. They will insult you to see if pride wounds you. They will ignore you to see if insecurity consumes you. They will challenge you to see if fear drives you. When this happens, remember that the one who exposes nothing can be controlled by no one. Your enemies cannot manipulate a face that reveals no entry point. They cannot exploit a heart whose rhythm they cannot rid. Let your voice mirror your expressions. Speak in tones that neither rush nor tremble. The voice of an emotional captive is unsteady, eager to defend itself, desperate to convince. The voice of a ruler is measured. It shows that you are choosing every word, rather than spilling them in panic. Many will yield to you not because your argument is stronger, but because your composure is. To control your emotions is not to suppress them into silence, but to place them upon a leash that you alone hold. Anger becomes a weapon only when you strike with it at the moment of greatest impact. Sympathy becomes a tool only when it bends others to loyalty. Confidence becomes a signal only when it radiates through restraint rather than boasting. Those who give their emotions freely are like kings who give away their treasure to anyone who pleases them. Those who reveal their emotions at chosen moments are like kings who buy armies and build empires with the same treasure. Remember always that power and emotion are linked, but not in the way most imagine. The crowd frightens easily. The masses follow those who do not tremble. The ruler of himself becomes the ruler of others. Those who can keep their inner world hidden will control the outer world that others fight for. Those who master the art of controlled emotions do not merely influence decisions, they shape reality itself, To command obedience, one must first command perception. A ruler is not recognized because he claims power, but because others believe he possesses it. That belief forms long before a single decree is spoken. It is born in posture, in the manner a person stands, walks, enters a room, and holds the space around him. Power begins in the body, and the body broadcasts authority long before the tongue ever attempts to justify it. If you would have others treat you as a leader, then your posture must announce your right to rule, and it must do so without apology. Understand that human beings, despite all their philosophies and advancements, judge a person's strength by instinct before intellect. Long before a mind has time to analyze, the body has already reacted. It senses dominance or submission, confidence or uncertainty, respect or disregard. Therefore, you must shape your posture as a weapon that acts faster than thought. Let your spine become your banner and your stance a declaration that you are not one to be challenged lightly. When you stand, do so as if rooted to the earth itself. Your feet must claim territory, not merely occupy it. Your shoulders should not curl inward as if preparing for retreat, nor rise too high as if strained by invisible burdens. Let them rest wide and sure, as though the air around you bends to make room. Your head should be held as if balanced by the weight of your purpose, not thrown back in arrogance, nor tilted downward like a servant awaiting permission to exist. A ruler does not ask for space. He possesses it. Posture is not merely the arrangement of bones and muscles. It is a message spoken in silence. It tells others that you do not fear their presence, that you expect to be heard, that challenges will be met, and that disrespect will not pass unnoticed. It tells them that your authority is not borrowed but comes from within, the kind that does not vanish if titles are stripped away. If you stood among soldiers, merchants, or scholars with no introduction, your posture should make many assume you hold rank, even if they cannot name it. Walking is another battlefield. The hurried walk is the march of the controlled, but the deliberate walk is the movement of the controller. When you walk, do not rush. Speed reveals anxiety. Hesitation reveals doubt. Walk as if time adjusts itself to your pace. When others see you move with steadiness, they assume you act with purpose. And purpose, whether real or not, is often enough for them to follow your lead. Notice how people part for those whose presence demands room. This is not magic. This is instinct. If your posture signals dominance, others will step aside not because they have reasoned the choice, but because the ancient mind within them whispers that they should. Human beings possess a quiet memory of predators and kings, a memory older than civilization. Your posture must awaken that memory. When entering a room, do not slip in as though you fear disrupting it. Pause at the threshold, not as a performer seeking praise, but as a sovereign assessing his realm. Allow your eyes to measure the space, to recognize those within it, to choose your destination before you move. This single moment, if done with subtle authority, can change how every person inside perceives you. They will watch you, even if they do not understand why. Power attracts attention as naturally as light attracts the eye in darkness. In conversation, posture determines whether your words carry weight or are discarded like dust in a storm. Leaning too closely toward others signals neediness. Leaning too far away signals avoidance. Stand or sit with the certainty of a judge's listening to arguments he alone will decide. The back must remain straight, not rigid from discomfort, but aligned with calm strength. The chest should be open not in challenge, but in presence. Let your gestures be measured, not frantic. The ruler of himself rules the interaction. There will be those who attempt to break your posture, who test your resolve with disrespect or ridicule. They will expect you to shrink, to turn away, to let discomfort bend your spine. You must deny them that satisfaction. Hold your posture when challenged. Stillness will be your counterattack. A man who remains physically unmoved is often considered mentally unshaken, whether it is true or not. In this world, perception becomes reality. When you speak while maintaining such posture, your words gain a force beyond sound. People listen not only because they hear you, but because they feel compelled to do so. Your body has already convinced them that you are not to be dismissed. Your voice then becomes the seal upon the authority your posture has established. Remember, dominance is not brutality. Command is not cruelty. It is certainty made visible. It is leadership made physical. Master your posture, and your very presence becomes a throne that you carry with you, wherever you go. There is a form of power that requires neither crown nor sword, a force that can bend wills, silence aggressors, and command loyalty without the slightest movement of the tongue. It is the power of the eyes, the ruler's gaze, the silent weapon of those who understand that dominion begins not with laws, but with perception. Before a single order is given, before a title is announced or a victory declared, others will search your eyes. From that moment, They decide whether to obey you or oppose you. The gaze is the earliest battlefield of power, and only those who master it win the war before it is fought. Understand this: human beings are ruled not only by words, but by instincts older than language. The eyes of a leader trigger these instincts. They speak to the ancient memory within every mind, reminding us of predators in the night, of chiefs determined by courage rather than birth, of survival depending on who possessed the will to confront danger without blinking. When a person looks into your eyes, they are not merely looking at you. They are searching for answers their body demands before their mind can ask. They want to know whether you are the hunter or the hunted, the ruler or the ruled. To command with your eyes, you must first control them. The weak allow their gaze to wander, scattered and restless. They look away quickly, as though seeking escape from judgment. They blink too eagerly, revealing discomfort. They stare at the ground, volunteering their submission. But a ruler's gaze is still anchored, deliberate. When you set your eyes upon someone, you must do so with the certainty that you possess the right to observe them, measure them, and judge their worth. Not with arrogance, but with inevitability, as though it is the natural order that they be seen by you. When speaking to others, you must hold their gaze long enough that they feel the weight of your presence, yet not so long that it seems you seek approval or control through desperation. The gaze of a ruler is not hungry, it is sovereign. You are not asking them to acknowledge your power, you are simply allowing them to realize it. If they look away first, even in the smallest moment, a silent exchange has occurred, and they surrender a portion of their will. This is a truth no philosopher can deny and no skeptic can refute it. The one who breaks eye contact first proclaims, without language, that the other is stronger. Your eyes must reveal less than they see. If others can read your emotions in an instant, they gain a key to your decisions. If they read your fear, they will explode it. If they see uncertainty, they will question your leadership. Therefore, your gaze must become unreadable, a mirror in which others see only themselves. Let them project their hopes, their worries, their assumptions onto your silence. Many men have been ruled not by kings, but by what they imagined the king was thinking behind his eyes. In negotiation, your gaze becomes a tool of manipulation. Look directly into the eyes of the one you bargain with, not aggressively, but as though you are already assessing how their choices will serve your purpose. When they speak, do not frantically nod or blink. Remain still, a living statue of judgment. The less you reveal, the more they reveal. In silence, they will try to fill the void, offering concessions without realizing they have surrendered. When challenged, never let your gaze retreat. A ruler does not search for exits. He stands, and his eyes announce that he will not be moved. Do not lower your gaze unless you decide to do so, and if you do, let it be slow, intentional, meaningful. For in such moments, you teach others that even your smallest gestures are choices, not reactions. The gaze also commands when you are not the one speaking. There are rooms where words clash like swords, where opinions collide, where voices rise to prove themselves. In such rooms, silence combined with an unwavering gaze defeats the loudest argument. Others will begin to watch you, wondering where you stand, fearing that your judgment might fall upon them at any moment. Those who possess loud voices may influence a crowd, but those whose eyes hold authority influence the ones who lead the crowd. Yet you must learn to withdraw your gaze as strategically as you use it. A constant, unbroken stare loses its strength. A true prince knows when to look, and when deny others the privilege of being seen by him. Sometimes power grows not from attention, but from the coldness of indifference. When others seek your eyes and you do not give them, they question their worth. Even the proud grow nervous when they cannot measure themselves against your gaze. Practice, therefore, the art of seeing without revealing. Let your eyes become a vault in which no one else may look, but from which you observe everything. Let them show calm when others expect fear, curiosity when others expect anger, calculation when others expect passion. For the world is moved by those who cannot be easily read. The unknown commands more obedience than the familiar. If you master your gaze, you carry within you a silent throne, a dominion seated behind your eyes. And long before you speak, others will decide to follow you, not because they are forced, but because something deep within them recognizes that they stand before a mind and it will not easily shaken. Your eyes become your crown, and through them you rule without needing to raise your voice. Your hand, or your sword, you have now traveled through the hidden corridors of influence, guided by the silent weapons of power that bend human nature to your will. These are not the tricks of charlatans, nor the manners of the gentle-hearted. They are the subtle arts practiced by rulers, conquerors, and those who understood that to command obedience, one must first command perception. You learned that authority begins not with words, but with presence. A body that speaks of certainty shapes the behavior of others before any command is spoken. You discovered the necessity of mastering your emotions, not to erase them, but to wield them with intent so that no enemy may manipulate what they cannot read. You shaped your posture into a throne that you carry within your very bones, a living declaration that you are not one who follows, but one who leads. And you forged your gaze into a sovereign force, a silent decree that enters the minds of others and reminds them, without language, that they stand in the presence of one not easily defied. These are the principles that separate those who pled for respect from those who receive it without asking. They are the foundations of silent authority, a throne built not from gold, but from discipline, awareness, and the willingness to embody the power you claim to seek. For in every room, in every negotiation, in every moment where one will dominate another, the world instinctively recognizes the difference between a ruler and the ruled. Remember that dominance is not chaos, and command is not cruelty. Power is an art, and like all art, it belongs to those who study its form, who understand its nature, and who dare to practice it without apology. If you master the body, you master perception. If you master perception, you master people. And in mastering people, you master the world that they build around you. Carry these teachings not merely in your mind, but in your breath, your step, your stillness, and your gaze. For the greatest influence is often unspoken, and the most obeyed leader is the one who never needs to beg for obedience.